Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses, and this is a story all about how my life got twist turned upside down. So, this is the most intoxicated that I have ever been. I've been doing drugs since I was about 15. By the time I was 17, I had tried everything besides crack, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine. And I still haven't smoked crack and I never did meth before. But I'm talking about all kind of different pills, ecstasy, I'm talking about Molly, acid, lean, all the mainstream drugs that you can think of, pretty much, right? Now this happened uh, during the first month of the pandemic. Bone Thugs and Harmony, I live in Joliet, Illinois. Bone Thugs and Harmony came to town. Now I'm standing in the front row. The concert is over. I'm already lightweight drunk, bro. This is probably like 12 o'clock at night, 12:30 at night. So I'm standing there. I don't know. I just let the people clear out. I just wanted to hear the little music at the end of the concert. And this white boy comes to the side of me. And he was like, "Yeah, it's a pretty good concert. You from Joliet?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. I live right down the street." And he was like, "Oh, me and my friends are from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and we wanted to hang out with some locals. We're staying at the Harris Casino. It has a hotel in the Harris Casino, right? It's right down the street, walking distance." And I was like, "That's cool." He was like, "Yeah, we got Molly, we got acid, we got weed, we got bottles." I was like, "Oh, you do, right?" I'm already kind of amped, and I was already trying to take something home. It was some females. They said they were gonna take me to their hotel and play with me, but the friend got too drunk, and instead of me going home with them, they she it was horrible. It was sad, bro. But anyways, I was like, all right, well, let's get it. I don't remember the dude's name, and even if I did, I am not. I wouldn't even put his info. I should, cause you'll see why. So he collected his friends, probably like three other dudes, a Mexican dude, two other white boys, right? He was like, "Yeah, we got Molly and all of this." So I'm like, "All right, that's a biggity bet." So we walks back to the hotel, right? And I'm talking, talking, talking. Yeah, it's kind of cool out here. The concert was nice. All of this, all of that, all of this. When we get to we get to the hotel, and who do we see? Wishbone getting on the elevator. It was awesome. He was wearing an all red jogging suit. I think it was like Adidas. Anyway, we get up to the room, and he was like, "Yeah, you want some Hennessy?" And I was like, "Sure, Hennessy, right?" And I was like, so what's up with this acid and this Molly? Like, what's up, my nigga?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot." And you don't forget. So he hands me this capsule. It's about this big and it's filled with Molly. And I was looking at it like, I'm not about to take all of this with some strangers, dude. I'm still looking at me. I'm still rapeable. I don't want to. I don't want to. So he was like, "Take the whole thing." And I looked at him like, "White boy, don't tell me what to do, bitch." So I popped it open. I unscrewed it. And I put like half of it on the table and Tony'd it. Tony means I snouted it. I put it in my nose. And I was like, "Oh, yes. Oh, yes." Right? And he was like, "You want some acid?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the whole reason I came up here." And he was like, "All right, how many you want?" "Just one, sir." "Sir, just one." Then my spider senses start kicking in. It's a room with seven people, mostly white boys, two Mexicans. And I'm thinking, I don't know about this. Then he said this, "If you get too messed up, you can always sleep here." And I was thinking, oh, you're going to be on some freaky shit. You're going to try to organ harvest me or something, right? And he was like, after the acid started kicking in, I started doing my hallucinogen test, looking for the tracers. If you don't know when you do hallucinogens, when you put your hand past your face, there's lights that come off it, and just like, like in the movies, right? And he could see. I was like, man, I start talking. I was like, "Look, bro, My other phone died, but can you connect this to the Wi-Fi so I could call somebody so they can know where I am? What room is this? And the nigga he was pretending, he was like, yeah, I can't figure it out. This nigga handed me my phone back and the screen was cracked. I'm like, gee, I was sitting right here. How did you crack my screen, bro? And I was like, you know what? It's okay. And he was like, yeah, let's walk around the casino. Let's gamble. And everybody knows I'm not a gambling man. I don't really mess with the gambling like that. So we were walking around and he was like, what do you like to play? And I told him, I don't gamble, nigga. I'm black. I don't gamble, nigga. I'm a real nigga. Real niggas don't gamble. No, that's obviously not true. But he said he wanted to play the game with the black and you got to put the chips on the black or the red and the numbers or whatever. And I was like, dude, we should totally play this because I'm a tarot card reader. I'm a psychic. I get prophetic dreams and all of that. I lost all that nigga's money. I kind of felt bad because I was really flexing on myself. And then he was like, okay, let's go outside and smoke some bud. And then we went outside, smoked some weed, and I was all paranoid. Yes, it's legal in Illinois, but it's not that legal. And I'm black, and and of course, the worst thing that could have happened happened. The police pulled up, and I'm do 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 do. I fucking still had the molly on I mean the acid on my tongue because I forgot about it for some reason. I swallowed it, and then I I walked back inside, all sketchy. It's a black dude standing with all these brads. Then they walked in. It was cool, right? And he was like, "Let's just go to the smoker room." I was like, "Ooh, what's the smoker room?" Apparently, there's a smoking room in the back of the casino, and it's like you got to go through these hallways, and I get paranoid again. We're smoking squares, and they're smoking their little cigars, and I look over and I see this fine little brown skinned chick, right? She had to be mixed, so I'm talking to her at first. Cause I'm tripping balls and I'm doing all of that, but I controlled it. I think I had a piece of gum or something. I controlled it just for that little split second. It was. I probably talked to her for like 10 minutes, and then when I was trying to get the number, I guess I think she was somebody famous, and I just didn't recognize her. We are just talking about astrology and just life and making little sexual innuendos and just just getting real friendly, from what I remember. And I'm walking around with this big cup of Hennessy with this triple shot of Hennessy in this cup. So this white dude, this dude was like balding. This nigga was like 6'4", like 300 pounds, no lie, like 240, like 6'4", 6'5", crossing his arms. I don't think you want to do that, man. And I was like, what? Why? What's up? And I looked at her. I was like, I can't get your number. No, you heard me, bro. You just back off. You don't want to do that. And I turned around, like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't think you want to do it, niggas. And they were gone, and I was like, what the? They left. So I'm walking around the casino looking for these dudes, and I remembered the number of the room, and I went up to the desk and I was like, "Hey, can you let me on the elevator? It's room fucking 505 or something." He was like, "Oh no, you need to have a guest escort you up there. I can't even let you up there. You gotta like tap your room card." I was like, "What the man? Forget it." And something happened where somebody called the police. I was about to Uber, but I just wanted to leave because the police came, and I was like, okay. I'm walking down the street, and it's not that far from where I live. Walking down the street, and I was like, bro, you know what? This is a blessing from God, because who gives somebody they don't know, a stranger, this many drugs and alcohol? And I think this Hennessy is drugged, bro. No, this is not regular Hennessy. They tried to organ harvest me, and I just kept saying that repeatedly, 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 right? I put the Hennessy on top of the microwave when I got home, right? It wasn't even a plastic cup, it was a paper cup. And I was just tweaking I was tweaking. bad. I went on Facebook. This is like March 18th. Or you could just type in Bone Thugs or Body Rot. It was around that time. Those videos are not private. They're still up. I was like, bro, they tried to organ harvest me, man. They tried to organ harvest me. I was just talking like, why would they do that? Why? Like, I was just like, just tripping, bro. And then what happened? It's probably like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. I called my BM, right? And this is what she does because she hates me. As she hated me at the time, we were still a couple. I was like, yo, I'm on Molly. And I'm on acid right now. I'm high as hell off weed. I don't even smoke weed. I only smoke weed when I'm on acid and I'm really, really drunk, blackout drunk. That's the only times I smoke weed. I barely smoke weed by itself, ever, never. And she was like, you're on Molly and acid. You just told me that you just started therapy. You said you were going to take care of your mental health. You're not serious about this? Okay, I'm breaking up with you. I'm done. I'm tripping balls and busting off this Molly, drunk and high. She broke up with me. She probably broke up. It's my theory. She broke up with me in attempt to get me to have a bad trip, which did not totally succeed. So I get on Facebook and some I just typed something crazy, and then people were like, "Oh my God, call me, call me, call me." I called this black chick on Facebook. To this day, I do not remember who this person is, bro. We talked for like 2 hours, and I was just saying the craziest stuff that I could think of because I was out of it, and I was like, "Oh my God, I don't even know you," and we just had the most beautiful conversation ever. Okay, all right. And then I hung up, right? I started listening to music and started watching stuff, and I'm just up. And you know what? I still had the little Molly in my pocket, so I'm doing more Molly, more Molly, more Molly, more Molly all night. All night, right? Now, this is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Remember, I got home at 3 o'clock in the at night, right? I didn't even know it had been that long, like 2.5 hours. I was with them guys. So I made the song The Purge. If you go on my YouTube, The Purge. I made that song that night. I didn't put it out that night, but I made it that night, right? And then I was more concerned. So what did I do? I'm still acid has never lasted this long for me. Like this is like probably the 15th hour of this, right? It's probably like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I called the hospital and they said, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Well, I've been up for like a long time." And she was like, "Well, why can't you sleep?" And I was like, "Because I took drugs, ma'am. I took acid and Molly and I've been drinking and I'm high. Like, I'm really high." And she was like, "Oh, well, that'll do it. You want me to call you an ambulance?" And I was like, "No, like, what should I do? Is there some kind of like home remedy?" And she was like, "Nah, that's not how, no, no." And I was like, "All right, well, thank you." And then from what I can recall, I kept making music, but that laptop is broken because I broke it because I was off it. I was off of it. So to be honest, I made more videos. I got back on Facebook. I made another video and I was like, guys, last night they tried to organ harvest me. I was so scared. They tried to put stuff in my body. They tried to take my body. And I was like, look, I'm about to get the Hennessy. I still got the cup of Hennessy from last night. And I was like, look at the bottom of this. Look. It melted through the bottom of the cup. Regular Hennessy wouldn't do that. It's only been like 10 hours. And I was like, okay, it smells like normal Hennessy. Then I tasted it, and then I started seeing like stars, and I was like, oh no, there's drugs in this. And then I kept talking about the situation, and I was drinking, and they were like, and I was like, I know you might be saying to yourself, Aaron Moses, if they put drugs in your Hennessy, why are you still drinking it? And I was like, because it's already in my system. So what? And then I fell asleep at like probably 8 p.m. that night. Probably like 4 hours later, like 4 or 5 hours later. And I don't, that's all I remember that happened. But I was so up, bro. I've never been that high in my life, and I hope that I. Well, no, I don't want to hope that. As long as it's a positive experience, and I'm not all by myself, and my girlfriend doesn't deliberately try to make me have a mental breakdown, and I don't have to talk to strangers on Facebook for hours on end without knowing anything about. This person could have been anybody. They could have recorded that whole conversation and possibly damaged my image, which this is the reason that I chose the image of the bad guy, because you can't really damage the image of the bad guy. If I present myself to be this goody two shoes, meditative weirdo, that, oh yes, and the universe is telling me that happiness is coming your way, love and light. Like, dude, I don't want to be that guy, this egoless weirdo. I don't want to do that. Heart full of love and light. No, I'm the bad guy. I'm the Joker. I'm the villain, dude. Facts. I'm the dark one. I love sex, I love money, and I love drugs more than both of those things put together. Like, of course. But that's it. The combination was Molly, some really good acid, bro. Really, really good. Like, I only took one tab. Like, I don't know. That's that Kenosha acid. I don't want that one. And nah, like I was almost gonna ask him for two. Like everything looked like that LSD video, like ASAP Rocky. And the last time before that I did ask, it was probably like 3 years before on my birthday when I was in barber school. That's the last time I did acid. But yeah, acid, weed, Molly. I think it was some meth in that Molly, cause that lasted a long time and I didn't even take that much. It was probably like It was probably like a point 0.5 of Molly though. It was a lot in that little capsule. It was a big capsule actually. It wasn't that little. But I smoked weed, which I'm very weed sensitive because I don't smoke weed usually, and I was already drunk as hell, and I was just sipping on that drug. That Hennessy had drugs in it. I know what alcohol. I know how alcohol affects a Molly high. When I made my son, I was on Molly. And I've been doing acid since I was 15. I know how alcohol interacts with acid. They definitely put drugs in it. And thank you because it was for the most part amazing. Like most of it. Like out of the 18 hours I was up and high. Bro, just think about it. I shouldn't have been that high for 18 hours. From 3 o'clock in the morning. I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning. So let's just say from 3 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock the next day. How long is that? That's 18 hours. That's a long ass time, bro. And I woke up and I was still like, you know. But that's it, man. It's Amos on the band, you the band, we the band together, man. The most intoxicated, the most high I've ever been in my life. Life is in the breath, breathe in. Peace.